What is up, guys? Okay, I'm back again. I'm really excited because, as you can see, I had a package show up today. It arrived this morning. I've been letting it acclimate for the past couple of hours. And in the meantime, I've been like a little kid staring at my Christmas present, waiting to open it. So, that being said, I've blabbed too much. Let's get this box open and see what we got, huh? Now, this order was overnighted to me. And this is from Fear Not Tarantulas. This is my first order through them. So this is essentially an unboxing and a review, I guess you would say. You could see that it was taped and labeled really well all the way around there. And now let's get inside and see what we have. Of course, we have a business card for Tanya Stewart, Fear Not Tarantulas. If you guys haven't checked them out and you want some tarantulas, check them out, guys. And of course, here's my invoice with a handwritten thank you. How cool is that? And then inside, we have our order. Okay, so as I'm taking all this stuff apart, look at this nice tissue paper. It's almost like a Christmas present, isn't it? Okay, as I unwrap this, I'll explain to you guys what I got here. And some of it will be self-explanatory as we go through here. This was a package deal that I got. Now, this tarantula I have been eyeballing since I decided to get into keeping, but always decided against. And this is one that pretty much anybody that keeps tarantulas has. And this was a package deal with an enclosure and all of the accessories. And then a spiderling, which we have right here, and a 2-week supply of feeders. There's just a few little pinhead lateralis roaches in there. I'll just throw that in with the rest of them that I have. But here is the spiderling right here. Before I disclose too much, I want to kind of give a background on how I came to get this one. I saw a review video online. I think it was Tarantula Haven. Yeah, it was Tarantula Haven. Anyway, he did a species highlight video on the Brachypelma auratum. And I had seen them before. You know, when I first started looking into tarantulas, I looked at all the hobby classics and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I was looking for pretty, you know, that's one of them that came up. Well, he did a highlight video on them, and I decided I wanted one. Didn't really have the money at the time. And then I got my GBB and then my H. pulchripes. But I started to get the itch again the other day, so I've been looking, and I found one website that actually has B. auratums in stock here in the States. And he's claiming that they have 3-inch specimens. And that should have immediately thrown up red flags that nobody even has spiderlings, but this guy has 3-inch specimens. Anyway, I look on Arachnoboards, I find 4 reviews on this website, and this guy, 3 of them were bad. So I decided against it, and instead I went and checked out Tanya and them at Fear Not Tarantulas, and I've looked at this spider on their website before, and I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger because everybody should have one. There it is, guys. This is the Brachypelma homori, formerly Smithy, the Mexican red-kneed tarantula. I've been wanting one of these things since I first got into the hobby, just like with the B. auratum. And these are a little bit easier to find. And so I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger and get one. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get set up. And we're going to get this little guy out. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, so here we are back, half hour later, after I figured out how to set up this enclosure. So we got it set up with the substrate and all the things that it provided. One of the conditions of the 30-day guarantee on this animal is that I use the enclosure and substrate provided for at least 30 days. So we're going to put it in this, but if it's too small, I will probably reutilize this. Now on the website, this is described as a 1/2-inch sling. So I'm anticipating a pretty small spider, first and foremost, so I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully it goes pretty smooth. Hold on, guys. Can't find my tweezers. Okay, guys. So I'm back. I found my tweezers, and I brought out an alternate enclosure because I don't know how big this spiderling is. As I said, it was described on the website as a 1/2 inch. So I'm anticipating a tiny little spider. And indeed, it is quite tiny. It looks like. I don't know how well you can see down in there, but there it is. My first bee hamori. Alright, so let's see about getting this little guy out. Now, I got this other enclosure out because my idea is to get the spider out into this enclosure initially, see how big it is, and then see if this enclosure is too big for it. If it is, I'm going to put it back in that vial. That way I don't void the warranty, although I do not anticipate having any health or life issues with this spider in the next 30 days. From what I've read, they are a hardy species, so shouldn't have any issue with that. Now, these are notoriously slow growing, so when I made the decision to get this sling, I basically made the decision like you would if you were to get married or something like that. This is a lifelong commitment. Oh, look how tiny it is. It's about as described, about a 1/2 inch. Anyway, as I was saying, they are a notoriously slow-growing species. So, that's what it's going to look like for at least another year or so. And as I was saying, this is definitely a lifelong commitment to have a tarantula of its lifespan. Females are known to live upwards of 30 years. Males a good 10 or so. So this is what a lot of people in the hobby would call an heirloom tarantula. Is it alive? Certainly not moving much. Maybe it's just stubborn. It's so tiny though, I just want to be delicate with it. There we go. Oh yeah. Gosh, it's such a tiny little guy. But, like I said, this is a very slow-growing species, a very long-lived species, but it's also, as I mentioned, a hobby classic. So, at my age, and depending on the sex of this tarantula, it may outlive me, and I know it's going to outlive my puppy dogs. But that's okay, because if it does turn out to be female and lives a very long time, I've got a good home for it. So, if nothing else, it's an investment. Okay. There it is. Finally coming to. It must have been sleepy or something there. As I said, it's quite small. And I really feel that that enclosure is a bit too big for it. But I think the vial is just a hair too small. So I guess I will put it back in the enclosure that was provided for it, so as not to void this warranty. So that's what we're going to do here in a minute, guys. Hold on.